Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how to export your models from Pollination Rhino to IDA-ICE. I'm going to use this sample model that I exported from Revit here in Rhino, but you can use any other Pollination Rhino model. I'm going to review like the most important things that you want to check before exporting. But this is not a video to show you how to use the Pollination Rhino plugin in general. So when you have this, the first thing I would do is to make sure all the coplanar faces are merged. So if you have a model that someone has done solve adjacency, then the way to solve that is to use the command called po rebuild rooms, po underline rebuild rooms. I make sure merge coplanar faces is set to yes, and then select everything. I mean the shades you don't have to select, but I select it and press the spacebar or enter, and this will go through all the model, and if there are any coplanar faces that can be merged, it will be merged and cleaned up. This is important because this can get IDA-ICE confused when you have faces that are split it horizontally. So that's the first thing. Then the other thing is good practice in IDA-ICE is to have the space between the rooms so you can see the wall thickness. And this model is coming from Revit, so it was a setting in Revit. If you do not have this, if you have a model that walls are next to each other, the command that you want to use is move faces. That will allow you to move the face of these rooms inside if you want. With that, the model is ready to go. Before export, I run po validate model command to make sure the model is valid, to make sure no aperture is out or anything like that I need to fix. So the model is valid. The next step is you can use save as to export the whole model, or if you only want to export part of the model, you can select that part of the model and go File, Export Selected. In this case, I'm going to export everything, so I'm going to do Save As. And I'm going to save it as IDA-ICE model here. And I have one already named from Rhino. One thing that's important before you press Save is to make sure, if you click on Options, the maximum wall thickness is set to a value that makes sense for your model. So what is this maximum wall thickness and why is it important? So this maximum wall thickness will tell the algorithm what is the maximum thickness that it should consider as a wall. So if it goes here and it wants to go from here to here, it checks this distance, and if it is less than the value there, in this case 0.4 meters, 40 centimeters, it understands it's a wall, it's an interior wall. It doesn't go inside, it goes around the building. This is important because in the export to IDA-ICE, maybe I should have used somewhere like this. In the export to IDA-ICE, we need to export the boundary for each story of the building. So if the value is 0.4, the algorithm goes like this. Oh, this is smaller than 0.4, so it continues around instead of going inside. So save as IDA-ICE Rhino and save. I overwrite the file that I just exported. It will take a few seconds and it should be exported to IDA-ICE. Okay. Now that we have it in IDA-ICE, let's go and open it. I closed the one that I had already. Open the new one that I just exported. And now you see there are a few error messages popping up here about glasses partially overlapping with adjacent zones, and this one, things being on top of each other, two apertures. So I'll review this and I tell you why these are happening. So let's check this 3D model first to see the export has been successful. Yes, you can see the model here. You can see all around, right? Everything is exported as expected. So the error that you were seeing here is because of this. So if I click here, you'll see it says this aperture is on top of this one. And the reason for this is if I go to the source model in perspective, these apertures are not rectangular. So what the exporter tries to do, it tries to group all these apertures that are not rectangular together. And as a result, it created a big rectangular window here. And these two were rectangular, and now they're on top of each other, right? They're intersecting. So in Rhino in particular, you have the freedom to come and edit these. In Revit, we have to automate this. So if you don't like to get that error, you can fix it in Rhino, or you can just simply go here and select the ones that are intersecting and delete them. Similarly for these ones, the challenge that what's happening if I click, they are next to the wall, and because of wall thickness, so you see the line for wall thickness here, this is just, they are valid in honeybee model or pollination model. But when it comes to IDA ice, because it adds that wall thickness, and maybe this is a good time to go and check the floor plans, then it considers those having an intersection. And in that particular case, those are happening here because we have this case that this was a separation line and we don't have that, gap between the walls. Again, these are the things that these are happening because of how things are different, the way they are defined in energy simulation software like Energy Plus and Open Studio, that we model the walls next to each other. And what you have in IDA ice that needs wall thickness. But none of them are major issues, so you can quickly fix them inside IDA ice if you want. And just a quick review of building bodies. So the whole for first floor, everything is a single building body, and this is the part that I was talking about, the wall thickness. And this part, this one is different, right? Why this one is different? Because what we try to do, we try to group everything in the same level. But if you have a different height, if you have a room with a different height, then it will be modeled separately. So if we go to level 3, if I go here, go find a room in level 3 here, and then open floor plan. I'm pretty sure there's a better way to do this. You can see now there is a single line around this. So this is the single building body that you have for the third floor. Okay. I hope this video was helpful to get you started with the process. So in summary, the things that you need to check are make sure the wall thickness. Then when you come in, you might have apertures on top of each other. Again, we can do more optimization on this, but I think the better solution is if you take care of that inside Rhino and fix and make sure like all the apertures are rectangular. From what I've heard, in the next version of IDA ice 5.0, it can handle non-rectangular apertures, so we will support that when it comes, when the new version will come. And then make sure your model is valid in Pollination before exporting them. Okay, thank you so much for watching the video, and we are looking forward to hearing your feedback. The best place to reach out to us is Pollination Forum, is discourse.pollination.cloud. See you online. Thank you.